Hi guys, Tory Chair Greg Hands was on the Kuenssberg show where he demonstrated a complete disconnect from reality. Now the host asked Greg about the current situation in the economy and he resorted to the typical Tory cherry picking, ignoring the reality that the UK was the worst during the pandemic, therefore started at a lower point, so of course its growth was the highest in the G7, in a limited and specific way. When asked about February, he said, "Don't look at the monthly growth rate." Then he used the monthly growth rate as an example. An utter shambles. Have a listen.
What happened to the economy in February?
Well, in February, it was not one of the better results, but January it grew by 0.3%. And we've had the best growth in the G7 in 2021 and 2022. Overall, under this Conservative government, we've got a record to be proud of on growth.
And in February, there was zero growth. Are you proud of that?
Well,
proud of zero growth in our economy?
That is a monthly figure, Laura. If you look at the previous month, for example, it's plus 0.3.
Okay, so don't use the monthly figure or use the monthly figure. Which is it? Oh, no, it's use the monthly figure when it's positive, but don't use the monthly figure when it's negative or it's zero. Wonderful.
Okay, these are, we would like to see much stronger growth. And that is why in the budget we introduced measures to bring people back into the workforce, to make sure that doctors aren't retiring early, which was one of the problems actually that was giving rise to some of the waiting list problems, and actually fixing some of those problems in the budget on the 15th of March and driving things forward. But of course we want to see growth higher than that. But I say overall, our growth record has not been bad. The highest, the strongest in the G7, 2021 and 2022.
Well,
why was it the highest? Because it started off at the very lowest point, I think maybe with Japan. But what is his solution to the growth problem? Well, getting people who were retiring early in the medical profession to rejoin the medical profession, to work in the NHS once again. That's the solution to the waiting lists. Why is there a waiting list? Or why is it growing? Why is it so high? Because freedom of movement ended and a lot of doctors and nurses returned and carers returned to Europe, and they haven't been replaced. It's very expensive, as I said before, to bring staff in from abroad. If they need a visa, if they're not part of the shortage occupation list and they need a visa, it costs up to £3,000. The NHS can't afford that. The private sector, who rely on staff as well, they can't afford that. Care homes in Scotland are going without carers because they can't afford to bring people in, because of the ending of freedom of movement. So the solution to growth can't be we're going to force retired doctors back into the service. We're going to force people off universal credit into jobs that they're not trained to do or that they can't do. It's absurd. But this is what they're presenting as some sort of victory, as a good solution for the economy. A shambles. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.